Alright, this is like on the page, story time. Yeah. We're gonna take this to the old school days. It's just gonna be like an old school little nursery tale or whatever. I call it an autobiography, I guess, but hey, check it. Let me just tell you a story about a boy I know. Let's call him CJ. Now, CJ was no ordinary boy. He grew up with two parents rather than just one. From the outside, it seemed like a normal family and all, but inside, all the demons would come and never escape. Now, let me tell you a story about this boy, CJ. He had a devil for a dad and a dragon for a mom. Daddy wouldn't buy anything for CJ unless it benefited himself or his younger brother James. By the way, did you know he had a younger brother James? It's pretty crazy, especially since Jesus also had a younger brother named James. Coincidence? Maybe. But let's go back to the song. Anyway, mom would ask for money back for the full worth if she never or ever did buy anything for CJ. But when it come to anything for James, she would always do it, no matter what. Anything James asked for, she'd go out and buy it. No repercussions, no paybacks, nothing. Now, mommy would bully dad with threats of divorce if she didn't get her way. And daddy got fed up with mom's manipulation and took out his frustration out on CJ. CJ hated being the oldest child and having a younger brother who was more loved than him. If CJ came home with good grades, mom and dad would just give him a pat on the back. Maybe some Chinese food on occasion. Yuck. CJ hated mom because mom was stupid and kept trying to brainwash her own son to become some pathetic mom slave. CJ hated dad because dad didn't give a fuck about what his son wanted. Instead, dad tried to morph CJ into some pathetic nobody like a doctor or a lawyer or a dentist. You see, CJ hated both his parents and because they never listened to what he wanted to be inside his heart. In fact, CJ's heart at the time didn't know what he wanted to be at all until one day he just decided to wake up and fight and destroy evil forever. But let's go back to the time when CJ was an adolescent growing up and mom and dad would guilt trip CJ into performing well in school. You see, at the time CJ lived in the suburbs while he grew up as a teen, while mom and dad lived in the hood in DC working 14 hours a day to support their child in the suburbs, as well as James. Unfortunately for CJ and James, they had to live with their devilish cunt for an aunt who also would do the same thing as CJ's mom. Manipulate their husbands by threatening to divorce and call the police on them. You see, CJ's aunt was so evil, she guilt-tripped her husband to commit suicide and staged it as a heart attack. Took off with a cool $800,000 from his will. Maybe even more, who knows? Growing up, CJ hated his life. He had so many evil all around him, especially inside his family. Mom the dragon, dad the devil, and his aunt the devilish cunt. And then something happened. At 27, CJ committed suicide. And for however long he was clinically dead for, he was guided through the depths of eternity by God, until he finally found a light and chased it to the end of the tunnel. And then he woke up. Now his mom is a paid government agent to be his personal maid. His dad is a passive non-violent Christian. His aunt is a stupid fat retard with Alzheimer's rotting in some nursing home forever. And as for CJ, well, let's just say CJ decided to devote the rest of his life understanding the dark arts after he came back from the dead. Because through those years, he kept trying to figure out and understand more of the afterlife. 11 years later, CJ has become a professional at his craft of black magician. And he is literally the only true warlock alive today. All while rewriting the Bible as we speak. And if you know anything about the Bible, the Future Testament is all in hip hop. And this is why CJ loves to rap. Yup.